Okay, so I wanted to take a look at the statement that the Franciscan TORs put out last night about the abuse report against Father Benedict Jurchek. And this abuse report has gotten a lot of attention recently online. And myself, the victim of Father Jurchek, and many others have been demanding that the TORs provide clarity about what happened. And basically stop being assholes about it, stop trying to hide and obfuscate. And apparently the pressure got to them because they released a statement last night. And unfortunately, but not surprisingly, the statement was mostly bullshit, legalese bullshit. And as someone who myself has reported in the past priest misconduct in my own life, a lot of the language they use is very familiar to me. And it seems that the church leadership in terms of sexual abuse has not learned much. It seems like they're still doing the victim blaming and the protect the institution at all costs type thing. So we're going to look at the statement and I'll tell you why it's bullshit. And we'll talk about what we can do from there, from now, to try to get justice for Dakota Bateman because she deserves it for what happened to her. So let's look at the statement here. So released last night's statement regarding Father Benedict Jurchek. And let's take a look here. It says on Friday, April 29th, Father Benedict Jurchek, T.O.R., was removed from ministry by the Archdiocese of Washington, where he had been ministering as a chaplain in a veterans retirement home. In 2019, Father Benedict had been temporarily removed from ministry when a single allegation of sexual misconduct involving an adult woman was reported to the Franciscans. So let's stop right there. So they made it very clear, well, it's just a single allegation. He has a sterling record, but just this one single allegation. So they're already putting doubt in the reader's mind about, is this really real? And they note, too, that it is an adult woman. Okay? So they want to make sure, hey, it wasn't like a little kid. It wasn't a little boy. It was an adult woman. So they're already setting up the idea. They're already priming the reader to kind of believe that it was a consensual relationship between a priest and an adult woman. What they don't mention is that this adult woman was 20 years younger than Father Jurchek, and that he was someone who was a spiritual director to her, ministered to her as a college-aged person. So that puts a lot of context in this that the Franciscans didn't want to mention. Continues here. In the following years, both the police and an independent lay investigator reviewed the claim and found that it could not be substantiated. Again, the TORs are trying to imply, well, it wasn't substantiated, so it's probably not true. Now, what they don't mention in this letter was that a canon lawyer wrote a report about the allegations against Father Jurchek, and the canon lawyer specifically said that there's a big difference between something being unsubstantiated and something being not credible. They don't mention that in the letter because they want you to think that it didn't happen. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to make you think that he's innocent. The letter continues, a female lay canonist was also conducted an investigation in accord with canon law and made the same finding, which was accepted by the Franciscans after consultation with a lay review board. Now, it's interesting that they mentioned that it was a female lay canonist. It's almost like saying, hey, listen, we also brought in another irrational, emotional girl, and even the irrational, emotional girl we brought in said there was nothing to this report. Now, again, they don't mention that that lay canonist said that the abuse report was credible. Again, a big difference between unsubstantiated and not credible. Nobody said that Dakota's report was not credible. They simply said it was unsubstantiated. That's a big difference. And the TORs are trying to trick you into believing that there was nothing to this report. Continues. The review board also accepted the recommendation of the canonist that some financial assistance be offered to the complainant to assist with therapeutic costs. That's really interesting because if Father Jurczyk was completely innocent, why are you paying for the counseling of the woman who made the report against him? What you don't mention in this letter was that the candidates said that obviously Jurczyk caused this situation. That somehow didn't make it into your letter. The letter continues, while the Franciscans disclosed all this to the Archdiocese of Washington prior to Father Benedict's assignment there, the recent public attention given once again to this single, unsubstantiated allegation has made it impossible, from the perspective of the Archdiocese, for him to continue to minister effectively there. Now let's pause right there. A diocese is not in the business of removing someone from ministry, taking away their faculties, simply because some people are saying some things on Twitter and Facebook. Obviously, the diocese, the Archdiocese of Washington, saw the chatter, heard about this, and said, wow, maybe we made a mistake here. But again, what the Franciscans want to do is they go, well, God, all these weirdo, these people on Twitter and Facebook, they just cause all this commotion. So, God, now we have to remove them from ministry. See what you people did? Terrible. The letter continues, the province urges anyone who wishes to make a complaint of misconduct by a Franciscan friar both to contact law enforcement and to report to the Franciscans Survivor Assistance Coordinator. Please pray for peace and healing for all those negatively impacted by the conduct of any friar. All right. Let me take this off the screen here. Now, what they don't mention in that letter is what is the status of Father Benedict right now in the order? Is he going to be reprimanded? Is he going to get treatment? Is he going to be kicked out of the order? Is he going to get any other assignments? Because after this abuse was reported back in 2019, they continued to give Father Benedict assignments. They even made him a vocation director. Why in the fuck would you give why would you make someone a vocation director who's had serious allegations of sexual assault lobbied against him? What the fuck is wrong with you? This letter does not mention the inappropriate text messages that Benedict sent to the victim. It doesn't mention that Benedict obviously tried to have, at the very, very least, tried to have an emotionally intimate relationship with a woman 20 years younger than him that was clearly inappropriate. I believe Dakota. I believe what she said happened to her. And the Franciscans don't want to take ownership of it. They want to protect Father Benedict Jurczyk. So I'm here to tell the Franciscans, and especially this fucking idiot, Father Joseph Lehman, the provincial, who, by the way, deleted his Twitter profile today after I found it and everyone started tagging him, coward. You're not going to get away with this. We're going to hound you for the rest of your life if you continue to protect Father Benedict Jurczyk. If you dare put Jurczyk in any public ministry situation, we will come after you. We will find him. This is not going to rest until Dakota gets her justice. And I, as someone, again, who has reported abuse myself, who was the victim of priest abuse myself, I take this very personal. And to the provincial, Father Joseph Lehman, you fucking coward, you abuse enabler, you are responsible for this. You are responsible for the handling of this abuse situation. You are responsible for protecting a sexual abuser. And we're not going to forget that. Anytime you guys post anywhere online, you're going to get a comment reminding people that you guys protect sexual abusers and that you, Joseph Lehman, are an enabler and a protector of sexual abusers. That's going to happen. And if Father Benedict Jurczyk is watching this video right now, I want to inform you of something that maybe none of your cowardly superiors have told you. Father Benedict Jurchek, your public ministry is over. You have no future in the priesthood in a public role. If you show up at any church, retirement home, hospital, or any type of public ministry, we will find you and we will contact whoever's in charge there, and we will let them know that they have an abuser in their midst. Because of your actions, because you sexually assaulted a woman in your care who was under your spiritual direction, and somebody you knew was assaulted, and you took advantage of that, you have lost your privileges for the priesthood. You will never be a public priest again, Benedict. And if anybody in your order, whether it's Lehman or any other dipshit that they decide to be a provincial, if any one of them puts you in any public ministry, we will find out and we will hold them accountable. This is far from over. You fucked up. Both of you, Joseph Lehman as an enabler, and especially you, Benedict Jurchek, as the abuser. We're going to fuck up your life if you continue to do stupid things. So, Benedict, what you need to do, you need to get out of public life, get out of the priesthood. And if you had any balls, if you were a real man, you would apologize publicly, admit publicly what you did. And you would apologize for the continued hurt that you've caused Dakota. And Father Joseph Lehman, if you had any integrity, you would resign from your office in shame, realizing that you are a pathetic abuse enabler. You are a symptom of a church hierarchy that has not changed 20 years after Spotlight. You are a disgusting, pathetic man. Both of you. Your whole order should go to hell. You're sick. You have nothing to offer. And the same goes also for all of you out there, all you lay people who are friends with Benedict, who are saying, no, these allegations aren't true, who are trying to slander Dakota. There's one asshole who's been saying, well, when I knew Dakota, she always tried to get alone with me. You're just basically trying to say, hey, she tried to flirt with me, so you never know. I guess she was flirting with Father Benedict, which is one of the excuses that Father Benedict's supporters have been using. Well, she came on to him. First of all, that's bullshit. And even if she did, it was your friend Father Benedict's responsibility to not take advantage of it. Father Benedict Jurchek, you are a sexual abuser, and you will not be in the priesthood anymore. Father Joseph Lehman, you are an abuse enabler, and you should resign from your job. Now, if you don't like that I'm saying this, you think I'm slandering you, you have my email address. You can have your lawyers contact me. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. You can go fuck yourself. We are going to get justice for Dakota. By the way, and one little thing you guys can do, just continue to pay for her therapy. You guys did so much damage to her. The very least you can do is send her some checks to deal with the trauma that you guys caused. Do you have the balls? Do you have the integrity to even do that? Or are you so pathetically dedicated to your own ego and protecting the institution at all costs that you're willing to further abuse someone who was sexually abused by you? You have a choice to make. This won't rest. We're going to get justice. You will not hear the end from us anytime soon.